in the bustling city of Lagos, where the sun dipped into the ocean and painted the sky with hues of crimson and gold, a sense of unease settled over the residents of the Eko community. As night fell, the once vibrant streets transformed into a realm of darkness and fear. Clement, a young and ambitious journalist, had always been drawn to the unknown. He sensed that something sinister lurked in the shadows, waiting to strike. His investigation led him to a mysterious figure, known only as the Weaver, who seemed to be connected to a series of strange occurrences in the community. As Clement delved deeper into the mystery, he crossed paths with Nkeruka, a gifted but reclusive artist who possessed an uncanny ability to see beyond the veil of reality. Together, they began to unravel the threads of a sinister plot that threatened to consume the very fabric of their community. But as the night wore on, they realized that they were not alone in their quest for truth. A dark presence, known only as the Nightwalker, seemed to be watching their every move, waiting for the perfect moment to strike.
Clement and Nkeruka's investigation led them to an abandoned textile factory on the outskirts of Eko, where they discovered a hidden room filled with strange and ominous artifacts. Among the relics, they found an ancient loom, adorned with strange symbols and markings that seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. Suddenly, the lights flickered and died, plunging the room into darkness. Clement and Nkeruka sensed that they were not alone. The Nightwalker had finally made its presence known. "Welcome, curious ones," a low, raspy voice whispered in the darkness. "I have been waiting for you. You seek the truth, but are you prepared to pay the price?" Clement and Nkeruka stood frozen, their hearts racing with anticipation and fear. They knew they had to confront the Nightwalker, but they were unsure if they were ready for what lay ahead. "What do you want from us?" Clement called out into the darkness, trying to keep his voice steady. "I want to show you the true meaning of darkness," the Nightwalker replied, its voice dripping with malice. "And once you see, there is no going back." The Nightwalker began to weave a dark and sinister tale, its voice echoing off the walls of the abandoned factory. Clement and Nkeruka listened in rapt attention, their minds racing with the implications of what they were hearing. "You see, my dear Clement and Nkeruka," the Nightwalker began, "the city of Eko has a dark secret. A secret that has been hidden for centuries, but one that I have uncovered. And with this knowledge, I shall bring the city to its knees." Clement and Nkeruka exchanged a nervous glance. What could the Nightwalker possibly mean? The city's founders made a pact with a powerful entity, the Nightwalker continued, its voice dripping with malevolence. A entity that granted them prosperity and protection, but at a terrible cost. And now, I have discovered the key to unlocking that power. As the Nightwalker spoke, the air in the room began to grow colder, the shadows deepening and twisting into grotesque forms. Clement and Nkeruka felt a creeping sense of dread, as if they were being slowly consumed by the darkness. "What do you want from us?" Clement repeated, trying to keep his voice steady. "I want you to be my messengers," the Nightwalker replied, its voice dripping with evil intent. "I want you to spread the word of my power, to tell the people of Eko that their city is mine, and that they will soon bow to my will." Clement and Nkeruka were horrified. They knew they couldn't let the Nightwalker carry out its evil plans, but they also knew they couldn't defeat it alone. They needed to find a way to escape and gather allies to fight against the darkness. "We will never do it," Clement said defiantly, trying to sound braver than he felt. "We will never help you spread your evil message." The Nightwalker let out a cold, mirthless laugh. "Oh, but you will," it said, its voice dripping with confidence. "You see, I have a little insurance policy to ensure your cooperation." Suddenly, the lights flickered back to life, and Clement and Keruka saw that they were surrounded by twisted, shadowy creatures that seemed to be made of darkness itself. The creatures moved closer, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. "Meet my children," the Nightwalker said, its voice full of pride. "They will make sure you do as I say. And if you refuse, well, let's just say they have a few persuasive techniques up their sleeves." Clement and Keruka knew they were in grave danger. They had to think fast and come up with a plan to escape and defeat the Nightwalker and its minions. But for now, they were trapped at the mercy of the darkness. The Nightwalker's children closed in, their shadowy forms seeming to grow more solid and menacing by the second. Clement knew they had to act fast or risk being consumed by the darkness. Suddenly, Keruka spoke up, her voice steady and calm. "Clement, remember the artifact we found earlier? The one with the strange symbols?" Clement nodded, his mind racing. "What about it?" Keruka pulled out the artifact, holding it up like a shield. "I think this might be our only hope." It seemed to be pulsing with a light energy earlier. Maybe it can repel these creatures. Clement's eyes widened as he realized what Keruka was suggesting. "Do it," he urged, as Keruka raised the artifact and pointed it at the encroaching shadows. A blast of light energy shot out, illuminating the dark factory and sending the shadow creatures reeling back. The Nightwalker let out a furious roar, but Clement and Keruka didn't hesitate. They made a run for the door, the artifact held high like a beacon of hope. They burst out into the night air, gasping with relief. But as they looked back, they saw the Nightwalker standing in the doorway, its eyes blazing with fury. "This isn't over," it hissed, before vanishing into the darkness. Clement and Keruka ran through the deserted streets of Eko, their footsteps echoing off the buildings. They didn't dare look back, fearing what they might see. Finally, they reached Keruka's small apartment, locking the door behind them and collapsing against it in exhaustion. They caught their breath, then Keruka turned to Clement with a determined look. "We need to understand what's going on. This artifact, the symbols on it. I think they are connected to the ancient law of Eko." Clement nodded, his mind racing. "I've heard stories of a powerful deity, one who protected the city from darkness. Could this be related?" Keruka's eyes lit up. "Exactly. I think the artifact is a key to unlocking that power. But we need to be careful. The Nightwalker will stop at nothing to get it back." As they spoke, a faint glow began to emanate from the artifact, filling the room with a soft, pulsing light. Clement and Keruka exchanged a look of wonder. Then Keruka carefully placed the artifact on a nearby table. Suddenly, The air around them began to shift and distort, as if reality itself was bending. A low hum filled the air, growing louder until a brilliant flash of light illuminated the room. When the light faded, a figure stood before them, an ancient being with skin like polished obsidian and eyes that burn like stars. "Who are you?" Clement asked, awestruck. "I am Olekan, guardian deity of Eko." The being replied, its voice like thunder. "And you, Clement and Keruka, are the chosen ones. You have been selected to wield the power of the artifact and defeat the Nightwalker once and for all." Clement and Keruka exchanged a look of determination. They knew what lay ahead, a battle against darkness itself. But with Olekan's guidance and the power of the artifact, they were ready to face whatever came next. Olekan began to teach Clement and Keruka how to harness the power of the artifact, showing them ancient rituals and incantations that had been lost for centuries. As they learned, they felt their own strength and courage growing, as if the very essence of Eko's history was flowing through them. But the Nightwalker was not idle. It sensed the growing power of the artifact and knew it had to act fast. One night, as Clement and Keruka were deep in their training, the Nightwalker launched a surprise attack on the city. Buildings crumbled, streets were torn apart, and the people of Eko ran for their lives. Clement and Keruka knew they had to act fast. They couldn't let the Nightwalker destroy the city they loved. With Olekan's guidance, they rallied the people of Eko and formed a resistance against the darkness. The battle was fierce, with shadows and light clashing in a spectacular display of power. Clement and Keruka fought side by side, wielding the artifact's power with precision and skill. Slowly but surely, they pushed the Nightwalker back, until finally, the darkness was forced to retreat. The city was saved, but at a great cost. Many lives were lost, and the streets were scarred from the battle. Clement and Keruka knew they had to rebuild and restore Eko to its former glory. As they stood amidst the ruins, Olekan appeared once more, its eyes shining with pride. "You have done well, Clement and Keruka," it said. "You have saved Eko from the brink of destruction. But remember, the power of the artifact is not just for defeating darkness, it's for building a brighter future." And with that, Olekan vanished, leaving Clement and Keruka to begin the long journey of rebuilding and restoration. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but they were determined to create a city where light and darkness existed in harmony, and the power of the artifact would always be a beacon of hope.